with all of its history and culture and art. And we're set to go here on the diamond of Petco against the Houston Astros as Aaron Harang, San Diego native, warming up. Harang with a 5-2 record, 3.88 is ERA. His last three starts, no decisions, even though he pitched well enough to win those games. 21 innings totaled, only 3 earned runs, and a 1.29 ERA, but no W. Big man did a sterling job in Washington in the heat and humidity, and even scored a run after getting a base hit.
Yeah, the one good thing about Aaron Harang also, along with those last no decisions, the last 3 starts, he's kept the ball in the ball yard. Look for a little bit more velocity on his slider tonight, and what that will do is create a little bit more tilt on it. If he stays on top of that pitch, he should be working down in the zone quite nicely.
So here just after 5:30, lots of shadows with which to contend. The ball indeed warmer, will carry better, but tougher to see for the hitters. Lots of splashes of sunshine interrupted by the shadows of the light standards. Michael Bourne leads it off for Houston, and we're underway. And he swings at the first pitch and sends a high fly to straightaway center. In comes Denorfia, and there's one out. One pitch. Let's look at the Brad Mills starting lineup tonight. Bourne followed by Clint Marvis, Hunter Pence, their star right fielder, Carlos Lee, the power man in the middle. Chris Johnson has a home run and 2 triples in the 2 games of this series. Young first baseman Brett Wallace bats 6th. Angel Sanchez, his first start of the series. J.R. Tolles behind the plate, and Nuri Rodriguez on the mound batting 9th. Barmas takes a strike. Todd Kitchener is behind the plate. There's Brad Mills in his second season as skipper of the Astros, former University of Arizona catcher. 1-1. Speaking of Arizona, Nick Hundley, catcher, has gone to Tucson, where he attended school, and will start his rehab tonight with the Tucson Padres. Barmas hits the ball to left field, shallow. Ludwig hustles in. 2 away. A look at the San Diego Padre defense tonight. Headley with Alberto Gonzalez getting the start at shortstop. Forsythe and Hop on the right side. Ludwig Denorfia moves from right to center. Eric Patterson will be in right field. Rob Johnson behind the plate. The Padres were the lowest team batting average in the major leagues, and Bud Black's lineup tonight does not have a lot of hits in it.
So they're due, right?
Everybody's due. Really break loose. That's right.
Yeah.
It's a whole lineup due. There's 5 of the 9 starters in the lineup are hitting 200 or lower. Hunter Pence, 15-game hitting streak. And he's wasted no time in this series of extending his streak, getting a hit in the second at bat on Thursday night and his first at bat last night. High and foul down the right field side. Fans still filing in here at Petco on a night where the Padres saluted the University of California San Diego Tritons, Division II national softball champions, just before the game. 1-2. Line to right field. And Pence again doesn't waste time, extending his hitting streak to now 16 consecutive games. 314 hitter, leading in home runs and RBIs. Good player. Fans still filing in.
It's Nome night tonight, right?
Oh, they may come all the way till
from Nome, Alaska.
You know, get 2 Gnomes if you come from Nome. Carlos Lee, 257 his average with 4 home runs. And he fouls that one back, almost reached us. We've gone a season and 2 months without being interrupted by a pop fly.
Very rare to get a ball up here, but I got you covered. I'm good to my right. I'll protect you.
I might fight you for it.
Okay.
0-1.
I always knew you had good hands.
Yeah, it's another story, however. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pence leads away from first base.
Aaron Harang tonight has to think corners. inside corner, outside corner. We know he can get that downward tilt, that downward plane from the mound. Little deception works his way as well. Go for those corners and don't let that ball leak over the heart of the plate.
Pops him up. Back of second. Forsythe angles toward the line. He staggers as he makes the catch. And that's it for the Astros in the first. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Oh, there he is, the magical gnome looking on. Brought a lot of good luck on the road to the Padres. Oh, my. Dominican Republic, and you look at his name, first name, some say Aneori, others say Anuri, and the Astros announcers say A-Rod. Make it easy on yourself. He's 0-2. This is his 7th start. Began the season in the bullpen, and his last time out at Wrigley Field, a Houston 12-7 win. He left after giving up 6 runs, 4 earned in 4 innings. His profile brought to you by Bank of America, setting opportunity in motion in San Diego to help our community and our economy. Kristen Orfia, a line drive home run to center last night, his 4th of the season. Leading average at .319. (2-0). Eric Patterson and then Chase Headley for the Padres here in the last of the first. On the inside corner, 90 miles an hour on that fastball. We'll get a reading on what kind of velocity this young guy has.
3-pitch pitcher for Rodriguez. Fastball curve change, about 91, 92 on the fastball.
Backs him off the plate with a fastball 3-1.
And good for the Padre hitters. It's a pretty straight fastball. It doesn't create a lot of movement. So we know Kristen Orfia in a hitter's count like this one, he loves the fastball, like a lot of big league hitters.
Ground ball right at the shortstop Barmas. Padres have kept him busy throughout this series. One out to Eric Patterson as we check the Padres lineup presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in tomorrow's lineup hits a home run, Ashford will donate $2,500 to Operation Homefront. Denorfia, Patterson, Headley, Ludwig cleanup, Brad Hopp, Logan Forsythe at second, Alberto Gonzalez the shortstop, Rob Johnson hits 8th, and Aaron Harang 9th. Patterson steps in at 175. Logan Forsythe at 152. Alberto Gonzalez an even 200. Rob Johnson 173. And then you have the pitcher spot. So Not a lot of base hits in that lineup prior to tonight. He fell behind Denorfia 3-1, and Chris grounds to short. 2-0 now to Patterson. And the ball low, 3-0.
You know, this guy signed as a pro in 2005. He's only 23 years old, so Rodriguez has quite an opportunity to bust into this Houston Astro rotation. And through that history of his pro career, he's been around the plate.
That's a strike. They made a trade with Colorado 2 years ago to acquire Rodriguez. He was only 21 then, and sent Jason Hamill to the Rockies. So they must have thought a lot of Rodriguez. Hamill's a solid pitcher with Colorado. Foul back. 3-2. 6 years in the minors. He was 41 and 43. He signed with the Rockies 6 years ago. He's only 17, as you mentioned. Fly ball left center. And that's Death Valley with Michael Bourne out there, the Gold Glove. 2 away, and the defense for Houston, brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Johnson, Barmas on the left side, Sanchez and Wallace guard the right. Lee, Bourne, Pence, Bourne and Pence, both Gold Glove operators, and Tolles behind the plate. Chase Headley, 13-game hitting streak, longest of his career, longest by a Padre this year, hitting .333 in this stretch to raise his average to .274. Slaps that one foul. You saw that single digit in the home run column. Just almost shocking that Chase Headley, who homered in the first series of the season at St. Louis, has not hit a home run since April 1st or April 2nd. Here we are, June 4th.
And I know Chase Headley's not the type of hitter that goes up and says, I'm going to swing for a home run. That's not his MO. That's not his style. If he gets the right pitch in the right situation, in the right area, yeah, it'll go if he puts a good swing on it. But he has proven he's a line drive guy. Works the count.
Fouls that one back, and it's 2-2. Reminder tomorrow, folks, I know your ticket says a 105 game, but it's been moved to 335 for the Rock and Roll Marathon here in San Diego. 335, no television tomorrow. Line drive, and it's a base hit to right field. Over to cut it off is Pence, and Headley, just like Hunter Pence in the first at bat, extends the hitting streak. Now 14 in a row.
Work the count, get a good pitch to handle, and as a left-handed hitter, Chase Headley gets the ball that's down. This is where Rodriguez wants to be. That's just below the knees. Good fluid swing, getting those hands through nicely for Chase Headley.
Brings up Ryan Ludwig, the hottest Padre hitter the last 3 weeks. Last 21 games, batting .370 with 4 home runs, 22 runs batted in for Ludwig. Ball in the dirt. Headley bluffed as if he was going. That would have been a good pitch on which to steal. Headley with 6 stolen bases. Of the Padres' 58, the top number in the National League, and only 2 behind Texas for the Major League stolen base lead. Perfect night for those fans out in the park at the park. All the blankets are out. They've had their little picnic lunches, watching a ball game. That fastball had some life, but measured at only 89.
Sometimes it's an advantage to have your catcher's glove have that snappy sound to it. That'll add 6 miles an hour to it, at least to the sound of it.
And Tolles caught that in a way that it really did.
Rodriguez working behind. Third time he's gone 2-0.
Misses outside, 3-0 with Brad Hopp on deck. Yeah, when you see 62 on a major league uniform, means that he's a surprise. They didn't expect him to make the club. That's a spring training number. Lays that one in there at 90. Padres last night a victory, only their 10th of the season at night. 10-26. That's where they've got to improve drastically. They just fine, 15-7.
Line drive left field. Lee goes back and plays it off the wall. Here comes Headley around third. The relay, and they'll hold Headley at third. A bullet over the head of Carlos Lee off the bat of Ryan Ludwig. 2 runners in scoring position for Brad Hopp.
Well, we heard the snapping of the glove of Tolles on the fastball from Rodriguez. How about the sound of the ball of Ryan Ludwig's bat on that one? Like an M80 firecracker. That ball hit on the line, smoked too hard for Chase Headley to score. Now, if that ball's rattled around in the corner with Carlos Lee out there, that might be a different story. So a nice little 2-out rally going here for San Diego.
Caromed off the 357 line and signed and right on line to Carlos Lee, who was able to quickly get it back in. So second and third on a single by Headley, a double Ludwig, and here's first baseman Brad Hopp with a chance to give the Padres the early lead.
Here's the sound a pitcher does not like.
That one echoed throughout Petco Park. Second baseman Sanchez moves to the edge of the grass at second base. And the first pitch is wide. So Rodriguez having trouble establishing that first pitch strike.
No first pitch strikes from the right-hander. And this is his 5th hitter he's faced.
Threw that one by the swing of Hopp, who has struck out more than any Padre this year, 55 times. 4 home runs and 15 runs batted in.
That ball ripped into the right field corner. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is fair. Bounces around in the corner. 2 runs will score. Hopp to second with a double, and the Padres lead it 2-0. Headley from third and Ludwig from second as Brad Hopp delivers a line drive double into the right field corner.
A 1-1 breaking ball right into the hot zone of Brad Hopp. The coil and the release. Good looking swing by Brad. Everybody's off and running, and hey, look at that. A crooked number in the bottom of the first for the Padres.
Right off the tailor-made driver head. May have been in the right field corner for Hopp, but it was split the fairway for the Padres to get a couple of quick runs here in the first inning. Logan Forsythe. First time that Rodriguez has offered a strike on the first pitch. Forsythe is looking for his first Major League RBI. There's Hopp waiting out there at second base. 1-1. But the Padres in this series are now 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position, hitting .400. Ground ball to the third baseman. Chris Johnson across to Brett Wallace, and the inning is over. But the Padres strike early. Single, double, double. Man left. 2-0 as we go to the second. As we go to the top of the second inning, Chris Johnson will lead it off, the third baseman. 4 for 8 in the series. Had 2 triples back to back. His first 2 at bats last night. Homered in the first game of the series on Thursday night, and a single as well. So 4 for 8. Raising the average up to 229, and that one might have hit him. It did. That fastball tailing in and hit by pitch. Johnson aboard to lead off the second inning.
No, that's a tough break. Aaron Harang has spotted 2 runs in the bottom of the first, and this is just a 2-seam fastball. He wanted to get in, and it didn't look like it. Did it in fact hit him in the forearm? Happened so quickly.
Down in the shadows there, tough to read. Brett Wallace hitting .315, this good-looking rookie first baseman. And takes a strike. 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. He has been especially effective at home in Houston, batting .373, his home average. 1-1.
Now the shadows are right over. Aaron Harang is like he's got the spotlight on him. Look at that. You're on the big stage, big boy, and then everything else around him is dark. But I've talked to hitters. They say if the plate and the batter's eye is dark.
That's in there. Off speed, breaking ball. 1-2.
It's okay. There's home plate. Okay, he's in the shadow. And then when you look at the batter's eye out there, it's pretty dark background right there where the ball is coming out of the pitcher's hand.
Most of left field now covered in shadows. So 1-2 the count on Brett Wallace. Angel Sanchez on deck. Off his fist foul. As we mentioned last night, Wallace, the #1 pick of the St. Louis Cardinals, and he's been sent around to a couple of spots in trades involving hefty names. Matt Holliday, Roy Oswalt. Looper to left field, playing deep as Ludwig, so that falls easily for a hit, and racing right at the crack of the bat and into third, and now to second base too late. So by going to third, that allowed Wallace to hustle into second, and that single amounts to a double.
Well, you make a good pitch. It's really not the best swing. And he gets rewarded by dumping it in shallow left field. Look, he didn't even see the ball off the bat. He's like, where'd the ball go? Oh, down the left field line. Okay. This ball checks up. Long run for Ludwig. And as Johnson slides in, Headley tries to deke him. But nope. Second and third now.
No one out. So the Astros come back. Another fly ball. It's to Patterson in right. He sets up. Here comes a throw to the plate. No, he's going to go back to third. And good throw by Patterson. A wise choice, as Chris Johnson was checked at third base by Dave Clark, the coach there.
Eric Patterson did everything correctly. Times it, charge it, come in on it. Boy, we don't see enough of that these days. Guys are camped underneath it. They catch it, then they start running. This is perfectly executed. The momentum going towards home plate. And look at that one hop right to the chest of Rob Johnson.
Can't throw it any better than that. So 1 out. J.R. Tolles the batter with first base open. Third and first, Headley and Hop are in on the edge of the grass. First pitch outside and low, ball 1. Tolles last night accounted for the only Houston run in a similar situation with a man at third and 1 out. He executed a safety squeeze, bunted up the first base side, and the run scored easily in the 4th inning. It was Johnson at third base at that time. A little looping fly ball and dropped by Forsythe, and he doesn't get the man. What happened there? One hopper, okay. One that charged off the home plate area, and Forsythe shouldn't have been a sun problem. And a 2-1 lead now.
There's the one hopper, and it skips up on him. It's always that off the fists, had that funny English on it, and then just could not find the handle on the move. That makes it tough as well.
RBI to Tolles, even though an error charged on the play, and that keeps the inning alive. First and third with a pitcher coming up. So the balls in this inning, in contrast to the Padres, those 3 hits in the first inning were all shots. Here a looping single by Wallace to left after a hit batsman, and a looping liner that short hops Forsythe, and he can't make the play.
Sometimes the game's not fair, right? You make a good pitch and you do not get rewarded. Sometimes you'll put it right down the middle and they scald it right at one of your infielders. Hey, watch out for just putting the ball in play here.
The squeeze here. Maybe that's what the meeting was all about. He squares and takes a ball.
They want to get that guy with 1 out over to second base to create a second and third situation, then flip over that lineup. I was going to say, be careful of that Butcher Boy play. You know, you show bunt early, and the pitcher can always revert back to going to a full swing.
Not much of a line on Rodriguez, whether he's a good hitter or not. He's only had 7 at bats, 0 for 7. And he takes a strike there, bunted right through the ball. Got Hop charging from first. Headley has to hold his ground at third. First and third, 1 out, a run in, 2-1 Padres. So a messy inning. A hit batsman and a couple of soft singles, and toss in an error. And the 2-0 lead is melded to 2-1 and is in jeopardy here. Takes low, 2-1. Checks with Dave Clark, the coach at third, to see maybe if they might want to wipe off the sacrifice, let him swing away. Nope, he's squaring. Fouls it off.
Well, he's had some good pitches to bunt, to get down. Not doing well at the plate for Rodriguez. And that last pitch there was right there. Aaron Harang knows he's trying to give himself up, right? I want to get an out. Check out this last pitch from Aaron. And this is a fastball right down the middle.
Now you got to think strikeout if you're Harang. He's going to try to bunt. And he moves the runner along. The runner at first base was moving Tolles on the pitch, so there was no chance at second, even though Johnson fielded the ball just a couple of feet out in front of home plate. So down 2 strikes, he sacrifices the man up.
Yeah, I think what Tolles did right there, as soon as that ball was struck, he was off and running, because all they can do is just tell him to go back, right? And you look at this ball, it's just down the third base line. But by the time Johnson gets the ball, Tolles is already at second base.
So second and third for Michael Bourne. Fly to center field. Open the game. Takes a strike. Good average, men in scoring position for Bourne. He has 19 RBIs this year.
As I mentioned, the first 2 games, pitch this guy up in the zone, make him hit it in the air.
Out in front of the plate, you got to hurry. He's really fast. Johnson gets him by a half stride. The Astros get a run on a couple of hits and an error and leave 2 men in scoring position. Harang and the Padres still lead it 2-1. celebrate 75 years of baseball in our great city. Next Saturday, Padres will take on the Washington Nationals, a 5:35 Saturday game. First 25,000 will receive the Padres vintage cap. It's presented by Cox Channel 4. Plus, both teams will wear their 1936 uniforms. So get your tickets today at Padres.com. That'll be fun. The old PCL Padre uniforms. Alberto Gonzalez, then Rob Johnson, and Aaron Harang, the bottom three in the batting order. Here in the second for San Diego. Foul off the facing in front of the box seats to the right. And the Washington Senators of 1936. They're going to wear, the Nationals going to wear those uniforms.
Nice.
Two quick strikes on Gonzalez, hitting an even 200. Fouled into the glove of Toll, strike three. Rob Johnson comes up. Johnson in the throes of a 2 for 26 run, and his average down to 173.
You know, that last pitch, Dick, we saw to Gonzalez, it was a breaking ball for sure. He throws fastball curve change, but he varies his curveball. So it might be a tight, harder curveball and a big looping curveball. So two number twos.
Fastball, 91 this time. Tall, 6'4", but just 199. Didn't quite catch the inside corner with a breaking pitch. Curveball. There's another curveball. 1-2. It's got to be a tough time of the day to hit.
Sure.
Ground ball to the left of Barmas, able to glove it and throw him out. So two quick outs here in the second inning brings up Aaron Harang. Has a couple of hits this year, one on the last road trip in Washington that led to a very important run. Foul back. Hey, Harang hits the second base bag. He was going to go into center field anyway and winds up in left center with a base hit. The fourth Padre hit.
Aaron Harang just playing a little game of pepper, and right before that pitch, as we see it hit the bag, I was going to mention Hunter Pence in right field is playing very shallow. Aaron Harang's a big, strong kid. If he got something elevated, hit the right field, it could go a long way. A base knock, turn that order over, top of the order now for the Padres.
Hit the goalpost and tear him down. Harang with a smile. Pitchers will do that, you know, when they get a base hit. And to the top of the order, Chris Denorfia grounded to short his first time. Just off the plate, ball one. Popped him up. First baseman Wallace over to the dugout, and Tolles as well goes skittering down the steps, and fortunately okay. Rick Renteria there to catch him.
Oh, this could have been dangerous. You got those steel spikes on. You got to worry about those on deck circle donuts and bats.
Landed pretty heavily on his knee, but he had the shin guard that really protected him.
And that's a good way to get hurt.
So Denorfia just barely alive, 1-1. Strike on the outside corner, fastball. Just ruined that one, a curveball. Nicked it foul, 1-2, the count remains.
Okay, now this is the 40th pitch. I was going to wait around the 40th pitch to kind of just have a look-see and a guess on what Rodriguez is all about. Looks to me like to the right-handers, he's consistently keeping the ball away. He really hasn't come on the inside part of the plate by design. Consistently keeps the ball away.
Outside target here.
See?
Pitches up and in.
Yeah, that one got away from him. And that's when the command could be an issue for the right-hander. He wanted that one down and away. Target from Tolles down and away, and not even close.
2-2.
Boy, if you're looking away though or diving, you better be aware of that ball getting away from him.
Harang leads from first, 2 outs. Checks a swing on the breaking ball. Count goes full.
That was the shorter breaking ball.
And Harang has to be delighted. He gets to take off and run on this pitch. He came a run from second in Washington carrying that Steinway. But he got home safely. Touched all the keys. He leads away, 3-2. Fly ball back of second. Here comes Bourne and Pence. Right fielder Pence calling, but Bourne, he's the quarterback in that outfield, and he makes the catch, and that's it for the second inning. Well, up in the Diamond View Towers, up in the 15th floor. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, but only if the Padres win. SD softball Tritons, who are the National Division II champions. Here they are, winning that final game, 9 in a row in the tournament. They were 45-13 on the season. For Coach Patty Gherkins, the coach there up on the hill for the last 19 years. National championship brought to our fair city by the UCSD Tritons.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
We'll show you the first pitch. Sarah Woofter, the honors of the first pitch tonight. She went 3 for 3 in that final game as they were victorious 10-3 over Alabama Huntsville, and Alabama Huntsville was the #1 seed. There, she's
wow, great delivery
with all of her teammates. Congratulations. 1-1. Clint Barmas fly to left his first time, with Pence and Lee to follow. Pops that one off first base. Might be a play at the dugout. Nope. It's going to land just to the side of the dugout. You could hear Bud Black and the players in the dugout saying, no, they didn't want Johnson to go flying down the stairs.
Did you ever notice also what down there when Rhett Johnson was going near the dugout? See all the Padre guys come to his aid at the step? How about when J.R. Tolles was over there? Not too many guys got up off their seats.
No, not until he got into the dugout. Then they helped him up.
That's right.
Yeah, that's just a rule of baseball. Here, the support. They could see that the ball wasn't going to be playable, and he was much too close to jeopardizing himself by getting into that dugout the wrong way. Full count to Barmas. And winning in Houston, Harang with great control, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. That ball hit well to left field. Ludwig going back at the wall, and Barmas has homered. It's tied at 2. Number 3 for Clint Barmas, who hits the Padres better than any other National League team. He had 2 hits last night, a single and a double. He had a single and scored a couple of lineouts on Thursday night, and he hammers the home run and ties it up here in the 3rd.
Well, this is when Aaron Harang gets hurt. It's a 3-2 pitch. He elects to throw the breaking ball, and it's right down the middle of the plate on contact out in front of it, above the belt buckle. Tried to trick him with a little wrinkle. Full count. It did not fool Barmas. He had the right idea with the breaking ball. It was just bad location.
So the 3rd hit for Houston is the long ball. And when Harang throws a home run pitch, his record goes inside out. With no home runs in a game this year, his ERA is 1.71. Still plenty of daylight, so that ball carrying into the 1st row. Wild swing by Hunter Pence. He's trying to follow Barmas with a home run. Instead, he walks back to the dugout, having struck out for the 54th time. First K on the card for Harang tonight. Carlos Lee popped to second. Ground ball sharply by Headley into left field for a base hit. 1 out single, Carlos Lee. Chris Johnson, the batter, scored the 1st run after being hit by a pitch, leading off the 2nd. As the Astros scored a run on only 1 blue pit and an error. So Barmas and Johnson have had a big series. Changeup out in front. Slow curveball, 76. Infield set for 2. Padres 2-0 lead in the 1st inning has evaporated. 2 all here in the 3rd. 1 out. Man at first. Carlos Lee. That ball hit hard to the right field area. Patterson going into the corner and makes a running catch and slams against the Petco sign. Solid catch made by Patterson. He needed all that speed to get there. That was aimed for 2 bases.
And in my scorebook, I'm going to put a little star next to that because, you know, that's not really an easy catch. You've got that quirky wall out there. Sure, you have the warning track, but that's not a ball that we see hit quite often here at Petco Park. It really wasn't the best route from Eric, but you know what the bottom line is, he squeezed it. That's a big out for Aaron Harang.
And a right-handed hitter. That ball slicing into that corner, carrying away from Patterson's run. Swinging on the first pitch, Brett Wallace, foul territory. Headley has play, and the inning is over. But Clint Barmas ignites one, sends it 365 feet into the left field seats, and we go to the bottom of the third inning at Petco, tied at 2. Permadontics, Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. And by Cox High-Speed Internet. Power all your devices with the fastest internet in San Diego. Well, the flash mob. Several hundred youngsters here, some out there in the left field bleachers, some down lower deck left field, others in right field. Between the two innings, doing their corporate moves in chorus.
That was nice.
Got the fans going. Eric Patterson, Chase Headley, Ryan Ludwig for the Padres last of the third against Anuri Rodriguez. 2-2 tie. Fly ball left field. Carlos Lee, a couple of steps back. So Patterson has flied out twice. Here's Chase Headley. Singled sharply with 2 outs in the first inning over the second baseman Sanchez's head. Ludwig followed with a double over the head of Lee against the wall and left. And then Hop followed with a double into the right field corner to knock in the 2 San Diego runs. Popped up into shallow left center. That's going to be trouble. Lee, though, does have a beat on it and angles between the center fielder Bourne and the shortstop Barmas to make the catch. And Carlos Lee loves the first 2 outs here in the third.
And only 3 pitches this inning so far for Rodriguez. Next pitch will be the 47th of the evening.
Ludwig with a double. Just hit a laser over the head of Lee. Didn't get under it enough to drive it into the seats before he got all of it.
And we know that Ryan can be aggressive early in the count too. So 3 pitches. Let's see if he takes a pitch here.
Low and outside with the curveball. 464 in the last 8 games.
Stay hot.
Good swing on that one. Fastball at 91. Youngster up just beyond the railing there with a souvenir. Two and one. So Rodriguez needed 43 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. But the Padres swinging early in the count here. Only 6 pitches thrown so far, and he's got 2 outs. 3-1.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ryan Ludwig will take that as well. Now hitters count 3-1. Where does this miss?
Oh, that's a strike.
I think it's about knee high.
I think if Tolles doesn't raise his glove, he might get the strike. But by raising it up, it's almost as if he thought it was low. But that ball's right at the knees. So 3-1. And that in the dirt, and a 2-out walk to Ludwig. Brings up Brad Hopp. Delivered the 2-run double in the first inning. Tomorrow's pitching matchup is a good one, folks. 3:35 game time again. No television because of the ESPN baseball window. Matt Latos goes for 3 in a row against young Jordan Lyles, 20 years old, youngest in the major leagues. They say he has tremendous talent. Ludwig a safe lead. Little calling card from Rodriguez.
I've got a funny feeling that Rodriguez is going to keep the ball away from Brad Hopp. Remember that double he hit in the first inning was a hanging breaking ball, catching too much of the plate. He spun on it, rattled around that right field corner.
Hopp has good power the other way, though. Fouls it back at an inside pitch. Here's his double. Look where the pitch location is. Man, right there in the middle of the plate.
Yep, and a breaking ball, so it speeds up his bat, and he goes down to the corner.
One ball, one strike. Third inning, game tied.
You know, Brad Hopp with that facial hair. You put a puffy shirt on him and a pirate hat, give him a sword. It's like a swashbuckler.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, exactly.
Two balls and a strike, a high fastball.
It seems like Rodriguez also, he'll drop that elbow at times, and that will be an issue with the command. Working underneath the fastball, and it rides up and out of the zone. As you mentioned before, Dick, this guy is, he's 6'4", 200 pounds. He can get a good downward plane with the best of them.
Check swing, and the count goes to 3-1. A changeup that time. Now Hopp in the catbird seat, as Red Barber used to say. 3-1. Look for a pitch in the zone, and give it a haul. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks with 2 outs here in the third. Sets the table for Logan Forsythe, who grounded out his first time. So an easy inning starting for Rodriguez, and now with his wildness, he's thrown 56 pitches in less than 3 innings. Forsythe grounded to the third baseman, Chris Johnson, with Hopp at second base in the first inning. Again, seeking his first big league run batted in. In the dirt with a curveball.
Boy, how sweet would this be for the Padres to really make it hurt? 3 pitches, 2 outs, now 2 walks, and the count in Forsythe's favor. Make it hurt.
Ground ball foul. A little too quick on that fastball, 88. See, Forsythe not happy with himself that he didn't do more with that pitch. 2 on, 2 out. 1-1 the count.
Line drive, base hit to left field. Ludwig comes around to score as Lee slides at the line, and Forsythe pulls into second with a double. First major league run batted in, and the Padres reclaim the lead 3-2.
Oh, that's a good at-bat for Logan Forsythe. You talk about going down and getting a ball below the knees. That was a ball, if taken, throw the head of that Shillelagh. And Carlos Lee, wow. I think that was a 5.6 on the Richter scale when he hit the ground out there in left field.
No, it was a 5.6 from the Eastern German judge.
I gotcha. That's even better. And what's even better, the Padres take the lead. Ooh, the left wrist kind of curls underneath as he gloves that ball.
So second and third with 2 outs to Alberto Gonzalez. He struck out his first time, and the curveball's in there for a strike. So Ludwig can hop with the walks. Forsythe with a golf line drive doubled into left field. Hop moving to third. Forsythe at second. Chance to add more. It's 3-2. Missed that one. Fastball. Rodriguez has only 1 strikeout so far, and it was Gonzalez back in the second. Hey, that one got him in a painful spot. You could hear that snap up in the upper arm, back of the arm, where there's in quite the muscle protection.
Well, you're always taught as a hitter to turn away from it. It looks like the left tricep area. As we take a closer look, oh yeah, hits the Fryer. Oh, poor Fryer. Poor Alberto Gonzalez. That ball hit and went straight down. That means
it got you flush.
Yeah, it's not a glancing blow. Fryer's still smiling though on his sleeve.
Well, he's always happy. That's why he's the mascot. So bases loaded for Rob Johnson, who grounded to short his first time and takes it in the dirt. Ball 1. Third ball.
Boy, the Padres can really make it hurt here.
As we said, there's so many hitters that are due in this lineup, and Johnson's one of them. He a great breakthrough base hit right here. Knock in a couple of teammates.
Once again, a lot of pitches away to the right-handed hitters. Let's see if Johnson's thinking right field here.
Outside, 2-0. Now Rodriguez has to throw some strikes. Hop at third. Forsythe at second. Gonzalez off the bag at first. 2-0 on Rob Johnson. Line drive left field, but it's right at Carlos Lee. And Johnson's tough luck continues. He's hit some line drives in this spell, and they go right to a glove. Couldn't hit that one any harder. Padres settled for a run on a hit and leave 3. Brought to you by AT&T Wireless. A different question tonight. How can beer turn a 5-5 Major League game into a 9-0 result?
Well, I know how a beer can turn a 5-5 woman into a 10.
That's not the question.
Oh, my bad.
The answer to both in the bottom half of the inning. 3-2 the score. Orang back in front will work to the last three in the order. Sanchez, Tolles, and the pitcher Rodriguez. Fly ball shallow in center. A late break by Denorfia, but he runs it down.
Love those quick outs.
Sanchez has flied to right and out to center. Here's J.R. Tolles, safe on the air by Forsythe at second base. He was credited with an RBI on that play. It's an earned run if you're keeping score. Swings at the first ball, another fly. This one to Patterson. 2 pitches, 2 fly ball outs. Tolles, he goes back to the dugout. One of several of the players for Houston, coaches and staff that went over to Coronado Island and went through the whole SEALs program. And they have a film and they showed him around the environment, and they said it was quite a thrill meeting these super athletes, the real men of men. They said they were really touched to the man by the fact, here's the pitcher, and he takes a strike, Rodriguez, by the fact while they were there observing, some of the SEALs came in from their training, where they have them go out in the ocean and they bring them back in when they're cold and they think they're going to get warm, and then they throw them right back in the ocean, see how much they can take. And they actually saw one of the SEALs take his helmet, put it over in the spot, and ring the bell saying, I can't go on.
Really?
And they said they just were all,
wow.
We think about how tough our game is. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Orang retires the side in order. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Padres 3, Houston 2. Question, our AT&T Wireless trivia answer. Okay, first of all, how can beer turn a 5-5 Major League game into a, don't show the answer yet, into a 9-0 result? How do you get a 9-0 result?
It sounds like a forfeit to me.
That's right, and that's what happened. It was a 5-5 game in Cleveland on beer night. 60,000 cups of beer in Cleveland sold to a crowd of 25,000. So at 10 cents a piece, you got a cup of beer, so you get 10 beers for $1. Well, you know what happened. 9th inning.
You know what I heard? They sold 65,000 10-cent beers that night.
Well, it says 60,000 here, but I'm not going to argue with you. You've had a couple. Umpire Nestor Shilak stopped the play in the 9th inning with the score tied 5-5 and gave the Rangers the victory because it was totally out of control. So 5-5 became 9-0. On this date, June 4th.
Yeah, Billy Martin was the manager of those Rangers at the time.
He probably had a couple.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Harang, who singled his first time up, sends a fly ball to fairly deep center field to Bourne for the first out.
He said that to protect his players, there were actually Rangers that grabbed bats, didn't use them, but grabbed bats to go out on the field so they can securely get the Rangers back into the dugout and keep them away from the unruly fans.
Now you can imagine 25,000, and we're not saying all of them were totally imbibed out.
Right.
But they were lathering. They were lathered.
Imbibed Out? That's the name of my new band. Welcome, Imbibed Out. I like that.
So you thought the 5-5 meant that she was a 10, though, huh? Yeah, that's a lot of baseball dugouts talk about that. You know, as the night goes on, around 2 o'clock, everyone gets more beautiful. Denorfia, to count 1-1, is grounded to short and flying to center. 2 of his 4 home runs against the Astros, and both against Jay Happ, the pitcher last night. A bunt. Pretty good bunt. Got him. Quick throw by Rodriguez. As Denorfia bunted midway between the plate and the mound, but it was right straight to the pitcher. He didn't have to retreat toward the third baseline, and that cost Denorfia the hit.
Good idea by Chris, and running in on the grass, not on the line. That could have been the difference in that play. Look at, see where he's running? He's running in on the grass. It's a longer run to first base, and you know what, folks? In a bang-bang play like that, that could be the difference.
Yeah, he had to do a little right turn at the bag. So 2 outs here in the Padre 4th inning. They lead 3-2.
So Inspector Gadget tries to lay down the surprise bunt on him. Go Gadget.
And he gives you go 24/7, doesn't he? Ground ball sharply up the middle, but there to close the hole is Sanchez and throw out Patterson. And for the first time tonight, Anuri Rodriguez retires the side in order. We've completed 4 at Petco, and the Padres have a 3-2 lead.
Big game recap brought to you by Murray Lamper Construction. Home remodeling with no upfront design fees. Visit murraylamper.com. And when you get on the website, click on Request a Quote to schedule an in-home consultation. Dick?
Yeah, it's always exciting times for homeowners to remodel, build a new home. Line drive, fair ball inside the bag and down into the right field corner. Over to play it is Patterson, and Bourne with all that speed tempted to go for 3, but held up by third base coach Dave Clark as Bourne leads off the 5th inning with a sharp double. His 3rd hit of the series. The other 2 singles, 1 a infield hit.
Looked like he threw him a breaking ball. Yep, little slider, maybe a little cutter of some sort on the inside part of the plate, and just inside the bag. He knows where the ball's going to carry him, so he is off and run. Yeah, he's probably thinking 3. But as soon as he saw that ball off the padding, he saw where Eric Patterson was. You know what? I'll shut it down. Nobody out. I can score on a single.
Rang fortunate that Bourne didn't come up with that base hit the last time he was up. He had runners at 2nd and 3rd and tapped out in front of the home plate area and was thrown out. Barmes homered his last time into the first row and left 365 feet to tie the game at 2. Padres regained the lead in the 3rd with a couple of walks in the double by Forsythe. That's a strike. 89. These are the 2 teams on the bottom of the home run column in the National League. Although Barmes hit one tonight. Two and 1. And a changeup stays inside. 3 and 1. Padres have 35 home runs and Houston now 38. That's the bottom 2 National League teams in terms of total home runs, and now 2 on and no one out as Barmes walks, and Harang now has to stare at Hunter Pence. He's a top man hitting with runners in scoring position. In fact, he's the #1 hitter in the National League with men in scoring position, hitting .426. Trouble brews here in the Houston 5th. Way outside and low.
Time for Aaron Harang to regroup after walking Clint Barmes. And as that is said, Rob Johnson's going out to have a little chat. Now, Hunter Pence has shown in that second at bat in the 3rd inning that he'll chase, but he had 2 strikes and he chased a high slider. The key is getting ahead here.
Infield waiting to support Harang, looking for the ground ball. Houston was 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position last night. They're 2 for 21 in the series. Got a good pitch. 1 and 1.
Pence has grounded into 3 twin killings this year.
Yeah, he's good speed coming down the line from that right-handed batter's box. Corey Lupke starting to tune up out on the Padre bullpen. Line foul down the right field side. Back into the flash mob down there. So 1 and 2 the count.
Trying to keep an eye on Aaron's mechanics. See if he's really getting through the baseball towards home plate over that front leg. Sometimes pitchers will have a tendency to cut it off short.
Wouldn't chase. 2 and 2. Slider. Well, here comes a big pitch. Harang doesn't want to go full count. Pence is ready to take his best cut.
Remember last time, chased the slider that was up.
In the dirt. Good block by Johnson. So the count goes full with Bourne at second to terrific speed and the top base stealer in the National League. And last night he stole third in this situation. Let's see whether or not Brad Mills, the manager, has something in the works. Will he send his runners? Perhaps not, because Pence does strike out a lot. They stay, and he pops it back out of play. '62 offerings from Harang here with no one out in the 5th inning. No one out, 3-2, and another pop fly out of play. No one out. 2 Astros aboard. Padres 3-2 lead in jeopardy here in the 5th inning. Ground ball to short. Should be 2. Gonzalez. Forsythe. Top in time for the double play.
Well, Aaron Harang won the war on that battle. Let's check out the Carl's Jr. pitch track. Dick, you mentioned it that Hunter Pence at times he'll strike out, he'll chase some pitches. He does not walk a lot, so this guy is hacking. So you look at the sequence here. What is Aaron Harang trying to do? Away and down. Away. Away. It was down, catching a lot of the plate. Therefore, he gets his grounder for the double play.
And he starts Carlos Lee with a slider for a strike. Lee has popped to second and grounded a single through the hole on the left side the last time. Bourne has moved to third with 2 out. What a timely double play. Fly ball. Forsythe racing into foul territory and can't make the play. Now that's a tough chance. He's running into that barrier, knew it was going to come up and smack him, and just couldn't get there in time to brace himself to make the catch.
Hey, you know when a receiver hears footsteps when he's going across the middle on a pass pattern? Well, I think that Logan Forsythe may have smelt a little concrete. Flash look, warning track under his feet, kind of had to pull up a little bit.
That's a break for Carlos Lee. Didn't hit it quite high enough for Forsythe to get over. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Lee. Harang checks Bourne at third. Fly ball right center to Norfia and Patterson in right. It's Patterson who makes the catch. Great pitching there by Harang as he works out of a leadoff double by Michael Bourne. We're at the halfway mark in this one. 4.5 in the books, and the Padres lead it 3-2.
Back with the Channel 4 home run inning, presented by Harrah's Rincon Casino. If a grand slam is hit this inning, you could earn huge cash, folks. Listen to this. Guess how much, Mr. Enberg?
It's over $20,000.
It's $25,000 tonight.
Ooh,
enter at 4sd.com. 25K, 25 large.
If the Padres should hit a grand slam. Now we get some runners on. In Washington, or was it Atlanta? We had in the fifth inning twice the bases were loaded. Couldn't quite come up with a long ball, and then this jackpot increases by $500 every game. 1-1 to Headley. Over but low, 2-1. Headley, a line single, scored a run in the first. The Padres scored their 3 runs, all after 2 out and the bases empty. 3-1 in the first inning, 2 out. Headley singled, Ludwig doubled to left, and Hop doubled to right to knock in 2. And then in the third 2 outs, Ludwig and Hop walked, and Forsythe doubled to left to break the tie. 3-2. And a leadoff walk for Headley, his 31st free ticket of the season, leading the Padres. That's the 3rd walk by Rodriguez. Oh, leadoff walk usually spells good things for the offense. Ludwig has scored 2 of the 3 runs after his double in the first and walked in the third. He leads the team in runs scored with 24. Rodriguez taking a long time, and Ludwig calls for the time. Del Rosario. Enario warming up. Ooh, went for the downs on an 88-mile-an-hour fastball inside.
You know, with the uppercut swing that Ryan Ludwig has, that's a tough pitch to really square up on, because the ball is up and you're trying to go up and get it rather than a top hand down on top of the baseball.
Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks leading 1-0 against Washington in the 7th. They shut out Washington last night. Dodgers outscored Cincinnati 11-8 in extra innings. And the Giants lost to Colorado 2-1 today. Same pitch. So if Arizona wins, they'll leapfrog back into first place over the Giants. At this moment, they're both 32 and 26. Down on the count, 2 strikes, Ludwig. The rest of the National League West with the Colorado win, the Dodger win. Rocky started today 5.5 out, Dodgers 6.5, and the Padres 7.5. Brad Mills, second-year manager. Line drive left field at Lee. Can he get it? Yep, another bullet that carried too far, just as Rob Johnson's line drive to left carried all the way to Lee with the bases loaded back in the 3rd inning.
Nothing Ryan can do after that. He put a good swing on it, and it's just, you know what? Carlos Lee, his range out there, I mean, come on.
Doesn't matter if you hit it right at him.
That's what I'm saying. That's the tough part of the business, is when you hit it right at a guy who's not known for his range.
Hop has been on base both times with a 2-run double and a walk. Ground ball. This could be 2. Sanchez to Barmes, back to first for the double play. So each team turns 2 in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no one left, and we've completed 5 at Petco. The Padres lead by 1.
Any combination of tickets, use them at one game or across multiple games. It's your choice. Flex 10-pack tickets start as low as $11 and are available in 4 great seating sections. Get your Flex 10-pack today by calling 619-795-5008. Vic?
A lot of bright young faces here on this Saturday night. Taking that gnome, that treasure, back to their room, put up on the shelf. Bring them good luck. Harang to Chris Johnson. Ahead 2 strikes on the count. Johnson, Wallace, and then Sanchez for the Astros in the 6th inning. This stands in the spirit of things. Who does he think he is? Andy Mazer? Outside, 1-2. Johnson hit by a pitch to lead off the second, came around to score. And an error by Forsythe. And lined out to right. Good catch made by Patterson. Pops it back, and that one's going to make it just shy of the second deck. See, we weren't kidding. There's Andy. Looks like the way he's wearing it, a dunce cap. But he wanted to get that good luck. You know, he was in that spirit in Washington, Atlanta when that gnome was doing its best work. 1-2. Fly ball right center. Actually, it's Patterson drifting in. Collects the first out. Patterson's been busy out there, hasn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 putouts tonight.
And he made a nice sort of home plate. Remember to hold that runner at third base.
Let's check our comparison tonight. It's brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. In 10 wins, Padres 39 runs, 3.9 runs a game. 21 losses, 33 runs, 1.6 runs per game. And that's a remarkable differential.
Just one big hit here or there could make the difference.
1-1 to the first baseman Wallace. He dumped a single into left field in the second inning. That was the only hit in the inning when they got their first run, and he fouled out to third. On the inside edge, 89 fastball. Astros 2 runs, 5 hits. Padres 3 runs, 5 hits. Struck him out, or did he get a piece of that one? No, apparently not, and he's not going to try to run to first base, as Harang has logged his 3rd strikeout.
Well, whatever it was, Aaron Harang made an adjustment on that pitch. Watch the tilt and watch the location of the slider. Down, in, to the lefty. That's exactly where you want it. 2 strikes and let the catcher worry about smothering it.
That double sound is a little skip off the dirt and then into the glove. Right to Sanchez, who has flied to the outfield twice, to right and to center. Well, Harang, a fly ball pitcher, and that's why he was excited about coming to Petco. That one will land in right center field. Over to cut it off is Denorfia. Turning and holding is Sanchez. A 2-out single for the second baseman. Brings up the catcher, J.R. Tolles.
79 pitches for the big right-hander, Aaron Harang. He's good for about 105 to 110. The most that Aaron has thrown this year was 2 starts ago, 107.
Justin Richard Tolles takes a strike. They've been pounding fastballs inside to Tolles the whole series. He's a 27-year-old, played his college ball for the Lions of North Central Texas College.
Where's that at?
Well, it's in the state in the north and right in the middle.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know, Pat Hayden, when I was working with him, one of the, just a superb gentleman, one of the best I've ever been associated. Used to always ask about. Now, Central Michigan, what part of Michigan is that in? Yeah, the ones that are confusing now. Florida has a geographical school. They got North Florida, South Florida, Central Florida. They even got Florida Pacific.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about throwing a curveball.
Line drive foul. I'm kidding. Florida Pacific. Get it?
Yeah.
Not Florida Atlantic.
That's what I'm saying. It's throwing me a curveball. It's throwing everybody a curveball.
Why not have one, huh?
Well, how about Northwestern in Chicago? And it's northeastern Illinois. But back in the day,
how did that happen?
I think back in the day, early.
Oh, that was considered the Northwest,
right.
Yeah, because the old Big Ten was the Western Conference. Ooh, just off the corner, 2-2.
Let's check out the Carl's Jr. pitch track. Aaron Harang trying to go out. Ooh, it got the corner.
Yep, that's a strike.
That's a strike.
Any part of the ball touches that edge, that's a strike. 2-2 to Tolles.
Well, Aaron Harang has done a nice job first pitch strikes tonight prior to Tolles. But this does include Tolles. 21-26.
21 of 26.
First pitch strikes, yeah.
The 2-2 pitch. Slice down the right field line. Patterson over in the corner. Does he have room? No. It's a couple of plays. Balls hit foul down in that area that have been just out of the reach of Forsythe and now Patterson.
Flash look again. 2 flash looks and just gave up on it a little too soon.
Turned away
Yep.
as the ball arrived. No sense ending your season running into that metal barrier. 2-2 to Tolles. This one's playable. Patterson toward the line. And the inning's over. No runs. A 2-out single by Sanchez. He's left at first. Middle of the 6th. 3-2 San Diego. And the Washington Nationals are here next Sunday, June 12th. A 105 game. The first 8,000 of you kids 14 and younger will get a Padres sweatband presented by Northgate Gonzalez Market. And it's also Padres Photo Day presented by Verizon. So you'll be able to get your pictures with your favorite Padres. Visit Padres.com for your tickets. Get them tonight online and save $5 per ticket.
I think those things are so funny.
Fighting his way into the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2 lead. Forsythe, Gonzalez, and Johnson down near the end of the Padre order. Forsythe with a key base hit, a double to left field in the 3rd. That's the tie-breaking run. 3-2, his first big league RBI. Curveball outside. as Nuri Rodriguez has reached 85 pitches tonight. Bullpen is busy for the Astros. Fouled into the glove of Tolles.
Once again, this is the third time around for Logan Forsythe, and Rodriguez is just pounding stuff away. Breaking balls away, fastballs away. Let's see if they try to take him to right center field.
Breaking ball low and away, 2-2. So Nuri Rodriguez started shakily, 3 runs the first 3 innings, but he settled down here. Popped up on the infield. First baseman Brett Wallace right on the foul line, ruled a fair ball. 1 away. Alberto Gonzalez has struck out and was hit by a pitch. Padres had a chance to break the game wide open. They had scored a run in the third on the double by Forsythe. Then Gonzalez was hit by a pitch that loaded the bases with 2 outs, and Rob Johnson came up and blistered a line drive to left, but it didn't find a gap and went right to the glove of Carlos Lee. That one popped back toward us.
Fastball away. See if he can do something with it.
1-1.
You know, the perfect storm for a foul ball in our booth. Right-handed hitter, high fastball up and away, because then they'll have to get under it and push it up a little bit. It gets that trajectory and right in the basket. I've thought about it for many years.
You're going to be here, Rip Van Winkle, for many years before that's going to happen.
Only
We're just
3.
too high. We're just too high.
Exactly.
1-2 to Gonzalez. He fouls that one again, just below us. Good catch made by a fan, and a Padre fan he is, with a San Diego hat and a jacket. They're in belief. They got their gnomes ready, pointed in the right direction, got the glove on, and another foul back. Again tomorrow, folks, because we don't want any confusion, because of the Rock and Roll Marathon, the game has been moved 2.5 hours later from 1:05 to 3:35. This one will be in play, and another chance for Brett Wallace, the first baseman. Right on the line again, almost identical, and also a fair ball. So Forsythe and Gonzalez, the same play, pop up to first, and here's Rob Johnson.
By the way, since the run is tomorrow, the marathon, good luck to all the runners. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment. 26.2 miles. What time are we meeting at the starting line, Dick?
What's this wee stuff? And then it's rock and roll because they have bands all along the route.
Every
correct?
mile there's a band. Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
That is neat.
I called the U.S. Olympic Trials Marathon up in Buffalo, New York, before the it was the Olympic Games in Seoul in '88. Might have been '92 Barcelona. And to watch even the greatest runners in the world, or at least in the States in this case, come into that finish line after 26.2.
That's quite an accomplishment.
How can that be fun?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it. And I hear you never train when you're training. You never run the complete 26.2. It's only like you max out like 17 or 18.
And then it's just your heart and will and conditioning.
Yeah.
Get through that wall. You know it well. 2-2. It's that wall when you leave the living room to go into the kitchen to get a brew and your wife's locked the door.
Exactly.
That wall, boom, comes up and gets you.
By the way, Tommy Canole, who works in the truck and does a fine job, he says you train up to 23 miles. He has done a marathon, so he's the man.
You got to believe him then. 2 outs, 2-2 to Johnson. And another foul. That'll take Nuri Rodriguez on the mound to his 100th pitch of the game. This will be his last inning. He's scheduled to lead off in the 7th. Undoubtedly a pinch hitter will be employed. Struck him out. For Rodriguez, his second strikeout of the game. Padres go in order in the 6th inning. It's a 3-2 game. Southern California's premier dental implant center. By Goldman Sachs, for all the reasons you invest. Mutual funds from Goldman Sachs. And by Hughes Marino, because where you do business matters. Our producer, Ed Barnes, Tom Satursky calling the shots in the director's chair. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg, we're pleased you're with us on this Saturday night. Jeff Keppinger leads off, pinch hitting for the starter, Nuri Rodriguez. Keppinger at second base the first 2 games of the series, 1 for 8. 2-0. This is his first pinch hit of the year. He just was activated about 10 days ago. Off-season surgery cost him all the spring training and the first month and a half of the season. And Meringue way off the mark, falls behind 3-0.
And this is somewhat his spring training right now, right? Being hurt and not having a lot of at-bats. So Aaron Meringue, not a good sign, falling behind 3-0.
Lays that one in for a strike. 90th pitch coming up for the big right-hander. Another strike, another fastball. After Keppinger, to the top of the order, Michael Bourne, and then Clint Barmas. Fly ball right center field. Patterson gets over there quickly. And another put out for Eric Patterson. 7 tonight. Barmas homered, walked, and fly to left. His home run, 365, just into the left field lower deck first row. Tied the game in the 3rd. Check that, he's on deck, and Bourne first, who has doubled in 3 at-bats. Fly to center, tapped out in front of the plate. Johnson threw him out, and then he doubled inside the bag at first. Gonzalez, boy, he's got good leather. Bourne can't believe it. It took a clean piece of glove work, a brace, and a solid throw to get Michael Bourne. He thought he had a base hit.
And Alberto Gonzalez realizes as soon as he gloves this one, he's got a set and throw. He's got the good leather. He's got a good hose over there. Long throw from short. Makes it look easy. The flip throw to get the speedy Bourne. Position himself, front shoulder tuck. A pick and a P across the diamond.
Now to Barmes. 1 for 2. 28,208 here on a Saturday night. Hope you've made your plans for tomorrow. Matt Latos goes for 3 in a row. And you'll get a chance to see early in his career 20-year-old Jordan Lyles. Based on all the reports on Lyles, he's got a superb future ahead. 2-0 to Barmes, and now 2-1. Harang trying to get through 7 innings. Just downstairs, 3-1.
I'm guessing Pitch Track is going to like this. Carlos Jr., happy star? Yeah, put a smile on that star.
That's a strike. Swung on and missed. Came back with an 89 mile an hour.
Boy, does it seem like Harang's just pounding the zone? I mean, later as the game's gone on, he's gone right after these guys, huh?
Barmes' home run was his 3rd of the season. Just off the outside corner. Plate umpire Titchener not kind to Harang in that sequence. Had him struck out on that low pitch. It was called a ball, and here comes Bud Black out, and that's going to be all for Harang as he hits the 99 pitch mark. Luke Gregerson has been getting ready, and they'll bring in Gregerson to work to Hunter Pence, apparently, unless Harang talks Black out of. Nope, he was unsuccessful. Harang's work is done, and he gets a deserved hand as he walks toward the first base dugout. Comes out of the pen. His profile is brought to you by Lolita's at the Park, where you can enjoy quality, fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening as well. A happy hour 7 days a week at Lolita's at the Park. Gregerson, that bottom line, allowing a .297 batting average. That's the most generous of any Padre pitcher this year, and quite unlike his performance of a year ago. 2-1 record. Harang becomes a spectator and a cheerleader, rooting for his teammate to get the final out here in the 7th inning with a tying run. Barmes at first base, and the tough out at the plate, Hunter Pence. Single, struck out, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Pence. Leading home run hitter for the Astros with 8, and top RBI man 43. Outfielders will move deeper now with 1 out, a man at first trying to cut off a possible double play or double into the alley. Swung and hit out in front of home plate, not quite in fair territory. Johnson trying to pounce on it and get the easy out. Didn't quite roll far enough out of the batter's box.
Well, we know that Luke Gregerson has to have a good feel for that slider. That is his pitch. A lot of hitters will swing through it or they will top it, just like we just saw Hunter Pence.
Pence, when he broke in as a rookie 4 years ago with the Astros, logged 246 total bases. Had a terrific hitting year right off the bat. That was the most by an Astro since 1965, Joe Morgan. So he broke in with a flourish. Smothers this one foul. Gregerson ahead on the count, 2 strikes. Luke has not pitched since the final game in Atlanta on Wednesday night. Right back to the mound. Nice little pepper ground ball out, and that's it for the Astros in the 7th. No runs, a walk, a man left. Stretch him out. It's the 7th inning in San Diego.
Padres ice cream helmet set for the first 8,000 kids 14 and younger. Kids can also run the bases like a pro after the game. No head first sliding though. Go to Padres.com to get your tickets and save. Another great giveaway here at Petco Park.
Del Rosario comes in to work, and the Padres will counter with a pinch hitter, Aaron Cunningham, for Luke Gregerson. Cunningham with a key hit last night in the win, 3-1, as he doubled into the left field corner, knocking in a run. Up the middle, not hit hard. Varmus with a charge and gets him. A close play at first base. To the top of the order, and Kristen Orfield. How about our Cold Hard Blast? It's presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And this is a blast by Denorfia last night. A laser shot to center. Bourne with all his speed couldn't get there. That was out of here like lightning. Number 4 in the season for Denorfia. And that was a big insurance run in the 3-1 victory. Strike. I took time before the game tonight, Mud, and went out to look at that Frazee paint can. I just wanted to get an idea of the perspective there. Of $500,000 charity if you knock one in there. Comebacker and easy out as Denorfia retired. And there it is, and it's just under that overhang. You have to hit it on the fly. You can't bounce it off the facing they're in. But if it goes in cleanly, you wonder, well, can you really do that? Well, Denorfia in batting practice has done it. And get this, Roy Halladay of the Phils when he was here in the same batting practice did it twice.
Wow. That's
impressive. He'd have $1 million.
Yeah. That's very cool.
I hope somebody able to knock one in the
that would be nice.
Paint can.
Yep.
Was he happy to give away $500,000 to a favorite charity? Eric Patterson has flied out twice and grounded to second. So Luke Gregerson works only the 1/3, got the big out. Hunter Pence to close out the top half of the 7th inning. Del Rosario in relief of Anuri Rodriguez, who gave the Astros a good outing. 6 innings, 3 runs, only 5 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. And one of those walks came around to be the tie-breaking run in the 3rd inning, scoring on the double by Forsythe. Out of play. Both these teams have had more than their share of close games. The Astros have had 30 games decided by 1 or 2 runs. They're 10-9 in 1-run games, 2-9 in 2-run games as they lost last night. The Padres have been involved in 36. That's right down the middle. And they're 10-10 in 1 run and 8-8 in 2-run games. 1-2-3 inning worked by Del Rosario. Padres now have been retired 8 in a row. Are past the 7:30 hour here in San Diego. That's our Skycam shot. It's brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Mike Adams to pitch the 8th inning. So Bud Black has his GAB in order. Gregerson's worked the 1 out in the 7th, getting the tough hitter Pence. Now Adams with possibly Heath Bell to come in the 9th inning. Adams pitched a terrific 8th inning last night. Struck out 2 and got Carlos Lee to ground out, and then Bell came in, did walk a man, but struck out 2 himself as he picked up save number 15. Swing and a miss by Carlos Lee at a slider. Lee a single in 3 at-bats.
Right out of the gate, Mike Adams has got that snapdragon working. The tilt on that slider.
Dangerous power there at the plate, and Carlos Lee. .335 career home runs. Arizona shuts out Washington 2 straight games, 2-0 tonight, so they're back in first place. Slider. So Arizona wins, San Francisco loses. The D-backs in first, 33 and 26. San Francisco 32 and 26. Got him. But Lee is arguing that there might have been catcher's interference or that he fouled the ball.
I think he's arguing that he may have tipped it and the ball hit the dirt maybe. Now, if he tips it, the catcher has to catch it cleanly before it hits the ground.
It's a tough call. It's the same call that we had last night when Bud Black was given the heave-ho. Kitchener explaining his call. Often the umpire will look for help at say in this case the first base umpire. But apparently did not, and I think that's what Brad Mills was saying. Why don't you check on your first base umpire?
Well, he caught it cleanly.
Yeah, yep. He got it was close, but it caught it up in the webbing and it rolled in. It didn't hit the ground. So Lee is out. Adams now working to Chris Johnson. Johnson is line to right. A good running catch made toward the line by Patterson. He is also fly to right, hit by a pitch, and scored in the second. Well, he does take a big swing. He's got a couple of triples and a home run. First 2 games of this series. One and one. Adams trying to hit that outside corner with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. That's in there. Slider bites the outside edge. 2-2.
You know, there are pitchers out there who have good sliders, but when they throw it, they're just hoping they throw it for a strike. Mike Adams not only has a great slider, but he can locate it with the best of them. So that's tough to hit.
Got that one in.
Dick, you were talking about that slider being in. You're exactly right. Take a look at Carl's Jr. pitch tracks. In probably just enough, huh? Johnson couldn't get his hands through to square that one up.
Chop toward third. Headley charges, gets the big hop, and throws him out. 2 away. That'll bring up Brett Wallace, the first baseman. He has a loop single in 3 at-bats. Well, we have a lot of female voices in the crowd tonight of 28,208. Sheila Simpson, who's in our booth, who's the boss of our broadcast booth. Which takes us to the fact that on this date in 1919, U.S. Congress passed the 19th Amendment and allowed women to vote. Thank goodness. They seem to make better choices. At least your wife did.
That's a good call, Dick. I totally agree with you.
That your wife made a good choice?
She always makes the right choice. She married me.
That's what we're saying.
I know. I just wanted to make double sure in case she's watching. Did I say that she made the right choice?
Yeah, she made the right choice. Mary, we're talking about your wife, right?
Yeah.
Mary. Yeah. You.
Huge.
1-1 to Wallace. Foul back. Adams, very deliberate, thinks through every pitch. Ahead on the count to this rookie first baseman.
Slider.
Got him. Gets away from Johnson. And he won't have to throw to first base as the hitter is submitted by walking to the dugout. So 2 strikeouts for Mike Adams in a 1-2-3 8th inning. And the Padres hang on. 3-2 going to the home half of the 8th. The Sequan Casino postgame show with John Weisbarth and Bob Scanlon from our Channel 4 studios. Sequan Casino, get away for the day at Sequan Casino.
Cuteness sighting. Oh.
Headley leads off the bottom of the 8th inning against Del Rosario, takes a strike. Del Rosario retired the side in order back in the 7th inning. Foul tip into the glove of Tolles. 0-2. Headley and Hunter Pence both entered the game with hitting streaks and both singled their first at bat. Pence's streak now has reached 16 and Headley's 14 games in a row. That looked good.
Did you see the umpire? It looked like he flinched a little bit, like he was going to come up and bang him.
Got his hand caught on his belt.
Watch the umpire.
Well, that's a strike.
Looked like he kind of moved over. I agree with you, Dick. Totally.
But he's been consistent. He has not called that low pitch for strikes. And full count. Headley, who has walked along with a single tonight, trying to get on there to lead off the 8th. Pulls it to the first baseman. The flip to the pitcher and an easy 3-1 putout. Well, our leaderboard tonight brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal, limited time only. Most RBIs this year as Ryan Ludwig steps in. There he is on the master list. Jay Bruce, Cincinnati, having a great year. Hunter Pence there third. And Ludwig 9 ribbies off the lead. Scored 2 runs tonight, doubled and scored in the first, and walked and scored in the third, and that's the run that has the Padres in front 3-2. He walked with 2 outs, then Brad Hopp walked, and Logan Forsythe golfed a line double to left field to drive in the run to make it 3-2. Ooh, inside. Brad Hopp is on deck. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, it'll be the bottom 3 in the order for Houston. And we might see some pinch hitters. A check swing foul. No, there's that catcher's interference. That's 2 nights in a row. It happened last night with Ludwig up there. He's got that big swing, and Tolles, crowding him, clipped his bat with his glove. And that's an error charge to Tolles. Oh, you don't see that sometimes a whole season. We've seen it 2 times in 2 games.
Tolles just tucked up there too closely to Ludwig.
Ryan Ludwig on base for the 3rd time tonight. No at bat charged. And with 1 out, here's Brad Hopp. 2-run double back in the first inning. Got the Padres off on the right foot. I know we belabor the point, but scoring first has been immensely important for the Padres, and they've done it far too infrequently. They're 13-4 when they score first. Over but low, 2-0.
We've seen a lot of running, sinking fastballs from Del Rosario. 91, 92 on that, a slider and a changeup as well.
Bullpen quiet for Houston. Heath Bell is loosening up for San Diego. 3-0. Sends that one in there at 88. He'll be swinging if he likes this one. Ludwig ready to roll from first. Clip that one back to the screen. 3-2.
Good 3-1 hack by Brad Hopp. Seems to me that Del Rosario, if he tries to hump it up a little bit, it flattens out. Still has a little bit of movement. But the one that really moves is that 88-mile-an-hour sinker that he threw earlier in the at-bat. That's how you get your grounder.
He walked him. For the 2nd time in the game, Brad Hopp has walked. First offered by Del Rosario. So 2 on, 1 out. And Logan Forsythe the hitter.
Well, this is where the Padres need to make hay. Houston Astros bullpen, 15th in the National League with a 4.39 ERA as Brad Arnsberg, the pitching coach, out to have a chat with his reliever. Well, the Padre hitters really have to be patient because of the wildness from Del Rosario.
Well, that takes us to our hit of the game, Mark Grant, brought to you by El Cajon Ford. Worth the short drive from anywhere in the county. Or shop online at elcajonford.com. Low pitch, and Forsythe lines it into left field. Lee able to block it from the corner, but the runner Ludwig scores from second, and that made it 3-2, and that's where the game stands at the moment here with 1 out in the 8th inning. his first big league money hit. He's got one notch in the RBI column. 24-year-old University of Arkansas star has a chance to do more damage here with 2 on and 1 out.
And you always have to beware after a meeting on the mound after the first pitch. Maybe a pickoff at a base, so runners beware.
On the inside corner. In this inning, Del Rosario's fastball's all at 88. He's not going to overpower you. Down on the count, 2 strikes. Struck him out. Fastball.
There's that 2-seamer. And Dick, you know what? He humped up on that one. According to our gun, it was 92. He kept it down nicely.
So 2 out, 2 on, and Alberto Gonzalez struck out, hit by a pitch, and popped up. Padres have only 5 hits in the game. Chopped at the plate. Oh, 2. Weak saving swing there.
Tell you, that 2-seamer is tough to square up. You get a guy who throws that 2-seam fastball almost like hitting a shot put, especially when it's down in the zone. Down and in is probably the toughest location as a right-handed hitter from a right-handed pitcher.
Ludwig off second, Hop at first. Bounces that one 55 feet on that curveball. Cole saved. Advanced by both runners into scoring position. Another chopper that'll go foul.
On the other hand, when you talk about sinker balls like this, that's when you get a lot of choppers down the third base line for base hits as well. You know, right now, as you look at the defense, Chris Johnson is way back at third base. Gonzalez at the plate has been topping a lot of baseballs. You get those little rollers.
Tried to get him to chase. 2-2 the count, a slider. Alberto with 6 RBIs this year. But he saved a lot of runs with his glove. Off his fist.
Oh. Man.
The battle continues. Del Rosario. Gonzalez. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Here comes Ludwig. Bourne. Here's his throw to the plate. And he scores. On to second. Gonzalez. He's in there. It's 4-2. A big insurance run delivered by Alberto Gonzalez.
Well, Gonzalez fought off some nasty 2-seamers. He laid off the bad sliders down and away. And what did he do? The old scouting report on a sinker baller is you have to make him get it up and do some damage. That's exactly what Gonzalez did. Got a pitch up, stayed on it nicely. Everybody's moving, and that's a huge insurance run for San Diego.
And Bourne airmails his throw, missed the cutoff man, so that allowed Gonzalez to hustle into second base. And the Padres have 2 men in scoring position now for Rob Johnson.
What a great battle by Alberto. Nicely done.
Big run, 4-2 now, San Diego. And Johnson, with a base hit here, could make this a mighty sweet inning. Bases loaded back in the third. He had a shot to the left field, but right to Carlos Lee. Ludwig scoring 3 runs tonight. Giving him a team leading 25 for the year. And that catcher's interference now becomes an unearned run for the Padres. Way out in front. 2 strikes on Johnson. Slider. Grounded to short, line to left, and struck out.
See if Rob can stay on something and take it to right.
Low and inside. 1-2.
Fred Wallace way off the line at first base. If he gets that sinker down and in, it's tough to really inside out that pitch. But a hanging breaking ball the other way would be nice.
Soft liner, left field. That's going to drop. 1 run scores. Here comes another to the plate, and the Padres lead 6-2. Johnson delivers the base hit, bringing in Hop and Gonzalez.
Almost doubling his RBI total for the year. Rob Johnson had 3 all year. He gets 2 on 1 swing. Oh, that's how it works out. We talked about it before.
Yep.
That's baseball. You get a line drive for an out, you get a little soft fly ball into left field, and you get 2 RBIs.
And Carlos Lee could not find the handle. Boy, as soon as he gloves this baseball, he takes about 3 or 4 hops before he gets rid of it, and the Padres adding on late. Hey, what do you know? 8th inning, 3 runs. And we mentioned it before, the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning for San Diego. Most productive innings for the Friars this year.
Almost half their runs scored from the 7th inning on, and the same is true of Houston. From the 7th on, they lead the majors in batting average, 288, but they've been shut down by the Padre bullpen in this series. That's going to be all for Del Rosario. Jose Valdez comes in from the bullpen. The Padres with a 3-run 8th inning. They lead it 6-2. At the park, where you can enjoy quality, fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening. Happy hour, 7 days a week. Jose Valdez comes in. Look at those numbers. 309 batting average against in his 12th game, so he's been cuffed around. 17 hits in 13 2/3 innings. Hey, count 2. First ball swinging, sends it to the third baseman. And Johnson across the wall is for the out, and the inning is over. But the Padres get production from the 7 and 8 hitters. Alberto Gonzalez, an RBI single, and Rob Johnson, a 2-run single. And it's a 6-2 lead. And it won't be.
.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, your iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, even video highlights, and much, much more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Padres.com for more details.
All right, Mark, with no save opportunity here, Heath Bell will be rested in the 9th, and Ernesto Frieri gets the call. He's pitched well as he did all of last year. Tough to hit. He's had a little moments of wildness, has been the only knock on Frieri's pitching this year. 13 walks in 29 innings, and he's hit 4 batters.
I think Ernesto is better with more rest. You know, back to back, maybe 3 days in a row, maybe a little fuzzy. Last time out was Thursday against these Astros.
Angel Sanchez leads it off with J.R. Tolles and then the pitcher's spot. 2 of the 3 runs scored by the Padres in the 8th were earned. And he comes in and quickly falls behind 3-0 to Sanchez. Don't want to give him any free runners here with a 4-run lead. Matt Downs has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Oh, he didn't come close to throwing a strike. 4-pitch walk. And that's the only knock on Frieri's work this year. He was so consistent last year in throwing strikes.
He's got to duplicate that release point, duplicate the delivery. He's got a herky-jerky motion, throws across his body, kind of herky-jerky out of the glove.
Downs pinch hit last night and grounded out. That was the final out of the game.
Nice curveball in there for a strike.
Jason Michaels has a bat in the on-deck circle. So Heath Bell, just in case, getting ready, and there's that low pitch, and plate umpire Tichenor is just not giving it to either side. Way outside, 2-1. So 6 of the 7 offerings from Frieri here have been out of the strike zone.
Well, one more base runner, and it will be a safe situation for Heath Bell.
Aaron Harang, the pitcher of record. Line drive, base hit. So he hung a slider or a curveball and spanked into left field by Matt Downs. So 2 on, no one out, and Bud Black wastes no time in jogging toward the mound. So this is now a save situation, and Frieri only threw 2 strikes, and one of them was hammered to left for a base hit by Downs. And Heath Bell's going to be called in from the bullpen and try to pick up his 16th save of the year. Disappointing effort by Ernesto. So we'll take a break here. We're in the top of the 9th. The Padres have a 4-run lead, but the Astros threaten. 2 men on, no one out, and here comes the bull from the bullpen. Saved it last night. Struck out 2, walked 1 in the 9th inning. Saved 4 in a row on the road trip, so this will be 6 of the last 7 games Bell has come in to pitch. Trying to save all 6 wins.
It would have been nice for Ernesto Frieri to have a smooth 9th inning here. You know, Heath Bell's got to get hot in the bullpen. Now he's got to try to get out of this mess with nobody out.
Jason Michaels hitting only 150 as a home run. Only 40 at bats for Michaels. 2 on, no one out. And way outside is Bell on his first offering, a curveball. And the 2 guys in the burgundy or crimson jerseys can't hurt you. You just want to concentrate and get the guys out at the plate. Watch out. That ball spinning back in. Found an Astro fan appropriately. Fortunately didn't hit anyone on the way as it skipped right over the dugout on the third base side. And they're all smiles, so apparently there's nothing serious. That's good.
My goodness.
That's the old hammer throw.
Yeah. A little bit more stick 'em on those grips, huh? Well, that's good. You always hear cheers after something like that happens. Hey, an old Nolan Ryan jersey right there.
A couple of Astro fans, and the bat found them. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ninth inning, and Heath Bell trying to close out a win. 6-2 Padres. Michaels fouls it to the screen. Leadoff man Michael Bourne on deck, so the lineup rolls over. And the big home run men aren't too far away. 1-2 pitch coming up to the pinch hitter Michaels. Curveball in the dirt again. 2 curveballs have been way outside.
Mm.
94 missed, and now the count full to Michaels.
Well, the velocity is there.
So the Astros are 1 pitch away from loading the bases and bringing the tying run to the plate here in the 9th. The 6 runs by the Padres, believe it or not, the most runs they scored in any game at home all year, 7 against the Dodgers.
Wow.
That was in the 2nd week of the season. And they scored 6 against Pittsburgh, so they matched that. I mean, this is a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Now you got to get the opposition. 3-2, fouled it away off the mask of Johnson.
Boy, Heath challenged him with the fastball.
Good old mask.
Oh, yeah. It's your friend. We've seen him throw the 3-2 curveball, but with guys on first and second.
Popped him up. Middle of the diamond. Headley comes down from third calling. That was an infield fly rule. Batter was automatically out.
It's a home run in a phone booth. Big out for Heath Bell.
Did I hear a ring? It was Bell. That was the bell. Heath Bell. Aaron Harang, a couple of outs away from win number 6. Top of the order, Michael Bourne. A double in 4 at-bats. Starts him with a fastball away. Barmas with a home run moves into the on-deck circle.
Well, if you're looking for the double play, it's going to have to be a ball sharply hit on the ground. Bourne has grown it into only 3 double plays this year.
Fly ball left field. Can that be caught? Racing over. Denorfia dives and it gets by him. 1 run will score. They'll hold up the other at 6-3. As Sanchez, who had walked to start the inning, comes around to score. Downs pulls up at third as Bourne drives in his 20th run of the year. And the tying run comes to the plate for the Astros.
Looked like that ball hung up there for a long time. Up and away. Ball slicing away from Denorfia. Oh, good effort. Maybe misses by about a half a foot.
Ludwig backs him up. RBI double. A couple of doubles for Bourne tonight. And here's Barmas. He's flied to left, homered to left, walked twice, and fouls that one away. Let's go back to the 3rd inning. It was 2-1 at the time, and this pitch from starter Aaron Harang delivered just over the wall into the first row. The man in the red shirt getting his hands on it. A 365-foot home run. 3 for 6. He's handled Heath Bell well in his career. 2 men in scoring position. Fouls it back. Good cut. 2 strikes the count. Downs at third. Bourne at second. 6-3. How big are those runs now scored by the Padres in the bottom end of the order in the last of the 8th inning?
Barmas can turn on a fastball in now.
Upstairs, 94. Wouldn't go up the ladder. Infield deep at all positions. They gladly give up a run for an out. And on deck is Hunter Pence.
Struck him out. Fastball. Perhaps out of the strike zone. Up a little high, and Barmes couldn't lay off.
He wanted it down away, and Barmes, as soon as he swung through this one, he was upset at himself, swinging at a ball and a break for Heath Bell and the Padres.
But not out of trouble yet. Here's the tying run represented by Hunter Pence. He has singled, struck out, grounded into a double play, and sent a comebacker to the mound and takes outside ball one. Pence with a 16-game hitting streak alive with his line single to right field in the first inning. And if he gets on, then Carlos Lee will be up. But Pence leads the team in home runs with 8. The tying run represented.
Popped him up. Forsythe has a beat on it. Now called off by Patterson. Game is over. Heath Bell rings up another save, and the Padres win it 6-3. It wasn't easy for the Drama King. Heath Bell, he gives up a run. Walking a couple of hits, the RBI double by Michael Bourne, but is able to get Barmes to strike out and Pence to fly to shallow right field, and the Padres have won 2 in a row against the Astros. And with a 6-run outburst here at Petco, they able to get some help and much needed offensive support from the men hitting down at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, once again, the Padres taking advantage of an error in the 8th inning with that catcher's interference and put up a crooked number in that 8th.
Bell logs his 16th save. We'll be back with the totals in a moment.